My definite chief objective in support of life. There is a thinking stuff, a formless substance, a technology of the universe functioning through the design geometries of all existence, from which all things are made, and which, in its original state, permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of universe. A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. By forming things in thought, and by impressing the thought upon formless substance, I cause the things I think about to be created and deliver me via the ordinary functioning of the universe. To this end, I exceed the limits of the narrow scarcity-based disintegrating zero-sum game competitive mind, and in its place exercise the continually expanding all-encompassing integrating creative mind, because the technology of the universe recognizes only an intelligence which is continually expanding all-encompassing integrating and creative. Placing myself in full and complete harmony with this formless substance of existence, I express my gratitude. I am grateful for the gift of life and all the wondrous abundance all around me, and everywhere I look, in support of life, bestowed upon me, my precious loved ones, and all others aboard this spaceship planet Earth by the pure love forever emanating from the all-encompassing creating intelligence of universe. I unify my mind through this, my deep and sincere thankfulness, with that of the mind of the all-encompassing existence, so that my thoughts are even now at this moment being received by the formless. My connection with this technology of the universe remains continuous, unbroken, and strong as I unite and sync my interests with that of the all-encompassing existent whose intent and purpose is more life for all and less to none. Therefore, I now form in my thoughts the clear and definite mental image of the things I strongly intend to have, to do, and become, and I firmly hold this mental image in my mind's eye, being truly, deeply, and ecstatically joyful and grateful that the all-encompassing existent is now sending it to me, and that I am now receiving it. Henceforth I shall spend my leisure hours contemplating this mental image with sincere gratitude blended in my unwavering faith that this reality is mine. I comprehend that this is the process through which my thought impression is imprinted upon formless substance, and the minds of all of whom I come in contact, thereby setting in motion the creative forces of the universe on my behalf. I further understand that this creative energy works through the established channels of natural growth, trade, business, commerce, industry, and the social order, as well as the scientifically comprehensible functioning of universe, but fully focused upon delivering me my desired intent. I am active, and my activities consist solely of more than filling my present place, all the while keeping in mind my intent and purpose to get rich through the realization of my mental image. Every day, I do all that can be done that day in the most efficient and successful manner of which I am able. I gladly give to everyone I do business with a use value that exceeds the cash value I receive from them in return, ensuring that each of my transactions make for more life for all and less to none. I hold this advancing thought firmly in my mind so that the impression of increase is communicated to all with whom I come in contact. I am growing rich, and the wealth I am receiving is in exact proportion to the definiteness of my mental image, the fixity of my purpose, the steadiness of my faith, and the depth of my gratitude. Also, I understand that wealth at its essence consists of physical energy, as either matter or radiation, combined with metaphysical know-what and know-how. Science makes it clear that no physical energy of universe is ever lost. Therefore, the physical constituent of wealth is cosmically irreducible. Experience teaches that every time humans employ the metaphysical know-what and know-how constituent of wealth, humanity always learns more. Experience can only increase, and therefore, the metaphysical component of wealth can only increase, and thus, totally integrated wealth itself can only increase. Therefore, wealth in context of universe is the already accumulated and now existent organized human capability and know-how to employ the fixed, inanimate, planetary assets and omnicosmically operative and only celestially emanating natural energy income so as to predictably cope with the ever-increasing forward days of all human lives by providing for their protection, comfort, and nurturing, and for the accommodation of the ongoing development by humans of their as yet untapped store of intellectual and aesthetic faculties, while continually eliminating restraints and increasing the range and depth of their information accumulating experience. And so, I choose my mental image to be based upon the design science solutions of our Buckminster Fuller and all such solutions consistent with his inventions, his written works, and discoveries, because I know that these design science solutions are in harmony with the technology of the universe and therefore fulfill all I have stated above. Further, knowing the creative forces of universe work through the established channels of natural growth, trade, business, commerce, industry, the social order, and the scientifically comprehensible functioning of universe, I affirm the following. Business is the integration of art, science, and the know-what and know-how of universe to solve problems in support of life. Honest problem-solving entrepreneurial business is the truest essence of capitalism. Capitalism is the mechanism of freedom. Freedom is that societal condition that exists when every individual human being in society has full, i.e. 100%, control over his or her own property. Property is a man's or a woman's life and all derivatives of his or her life, except for their children, who, being young human beings themselves, have property rights of their own and cannot therefore be owned. A child is not property because they own their own life. No other human being, person, group of persons, state or government can own a human being because every human being owns their own life. Life is primordial property. The first derivatives of any human being's life, their primordial property, are their thoughts, mental efforts, and ideas. Thoughts, mental efforts, and ideas are primary property. Thus, every human being owns their own minds as their primary property, and through this intellectual freedom arises and inspires knowledge and production. From thought stem actions. Ownership of one's own actions is called liberty. Liberty, then as well as life itself, is a property right. Liberty too is primary property. Ideas and actions produce further or secondary derivatives. These include access to the use of land and resources and the production, utilization, enjoyment, and disposal of material tangible goods of any and all species and kind. These are called secondary property. They are secondary both logically and chronologically. In all instances their existence is antedated by primordial and primary property which led to their generation and employment. Further derivatives of a man's or a woman's life lead to voluntary transactions involving property transfers, sales, trade, barter, gifts, etc., which is the property right of contract. Contract consists solely of voluntary transfer of property. Involuntary transfer of property is plunder. No right to plunder exists, and therefore, no right of ownership of property plundered ever vests in the plunderers, their heirs, or assigns. Ownership of property is the basis of all a human being is, all a human being can have, and all a human being can hope to achieve. Therefore, to respect and protect property is to respect and protect life. Life, itself, by its very nature spawns growth. Growth creates profit. Profit is any increase in happiness achieved through moral means. Moral means are solely those means consistent with the fundamental universal supreme law, or FUSL, for short. Fundamental universal supreme law, FUSL. FUSL 1. No person, group of persons, state or government, shall initiate force, threat of force, or fraud against any individual human being self, property, or contract. FUSL 2. Force may be morally and lawfully used only in self-defense against those who violate FUSL 1. FUSL 3. No exceptions shall ever exist to FUSL 1 and FUSL 2. Mindful then of all the above, I come to the conclusion that increasing happiness through the production and creation of life-supporting property for the benefit of myself and others is the supreme moral good and purpose of my life. Therefore, on or before February 11, 2027, I shall have in my possession the increase of happiness of the objective standard real wealth hard currency cash money equivalent of 39,369,960,000 kilowatt-hour dollars for every complete rotation of Spaceship Planet Earth on its axis from the day of my birth to February 11, 2027 and for as many days thereafter as I shall live. Further, I shall place the same in the hands of each and every individual human being aboard Spaceship Planet Earth for each complete rotation of Spaceship Planet Earth on its axis from the day of their birth and for as many days thereafter as they shall live. In addition, my precious much-loved assistants, Cynthia and Mark, and I shall together share in and enjoy the benefit and advantage of biological immortality, perfect health, intense happiness, pure life, exhilaration in the life-supporting values we create, and super genius picture thought integrating intelligence. We shall also share in and enjoy with great happiness and love our garden under a dome home, complete with orchards, vineyards, trees, shrubs, flowers, hummingbirds, other birds, bees, llamas, alpacas, little horses, burros, African pygmy goats, mini cows, pot-belly pigs, dogs, cats, ponds, pools, waterfalls, brooks, fish, deer, bunnies and every good thing. I shall build the technology of the universe temple for the church of the all-encompassing creating intelligence of universe on the peak of Little Round Top Mountain, which I shall purchase for that purpose, and I shall create the Emu fleet. For all this I am now truly, deeply and ecstatically joyful and grateful because all this is in fact and in reality within my possession, even now, and this is so. In exchange for this kilowatt-hour dollars cash money equivalent, these benefits and advantages, our garden under a dome home, technology of the universe temple, and Emu fleet. I shall start here and now where I am at and write and produce stuffed llama puppet show videos on YouTube in exchange for gifts made to the Church of the all-encompassing creating intelligence of universe. Fold origami triangles from cardboard and aluminum cans and other materials to create panel systems and shelters, octet trusses, a wing in ground effect watercraft, and any other works of an art scientist. Create and trade artifacts of my art science ability. Discover and employ processes for mining the wealth of the waste stream including refurbishing, recycling, and repurposing useful items and materials from the waste stream and away from the landfill. Homestead 5-gallon bucket gardens on waste lands. Locate, identify, harvest and preserve wild edibles and medicines. Negotiate, buy, sell, barter, and trade at flea markets, farm markets, fairs, swap meets, yard sales, roadside sales, street markets, auctions, classified ads in print and online, and wherever I find like-minded honest and reasoning individuals supporting the agro including the deep web blockchain exchanging of Bitcoin. Rewrite, edit and publish, vacuuming the grassy knoll. And, I shall create, make profitable and deploy intermodal manufacturing units all across America and around Spaceship Planet Earth. Each intermodal manufacturing unit, or IMU, shall be a semi-autonomous, self-sustaining, interconnecting, interchangeable, fully integrated modular factory cell accountable in the widest scope achievable to its own bottom line within the purpose of the universe, which is more life for all and less to none. Housed within various configurations of the ISO intermodal shipping container, each IMU shall be easily transportable, operatic under the click of a computer key, to any GPS coordinates around the globe, and employed singularly or in combination with other IMU to create life-supporting, life-protecting components and products for the benefit of every individual human being aboard Spaceship Planet Earth, and for this I am truly, deeply, and ecstatically joyful and grateful, and this is so. advancing along an ever-evolving, ever-growing, ever-expanding outward spiral of projects and processes. Emu shall manufacture struts, cable, cabinet, connector hubs and fasteners that its floating domes constructed and erected to shelter homes, farms, villages, towns, and cities, arable land, lakes, and forests, and shall produce and integrate into the whole all necessary biological and technological components required to create self-sustaining biospheres beneath each dome and to increase the happiness of its inhabitants. Further, Emu shall procure, construct, connect, facilitate, manufacture electric power sources and harness electricity for a spaceship planet Earth around electric power system, shall produce and publish all necessary products and materials and infrastructure needed to rapidly facilitate the self-education, enlightenment, and spontaneous self-mobilization of the whole of humanity, and shall craft and assemble all other critical path artifacts as well as those yet to be discovered and created, which shall cause spaceship planet Earth to become the thriving paradise utopia the technology of the universe designs it to be. Truly, Emu shall function to develop and create cures to eliminate all human ailments and disease, culminating in the preeminently desirable condition of commercially available and universally affordable biological immortality, and for this I am truly, deeply, and ecstatically joyful and grateful, and this is so. In order to become the individual being worthy of such accomplishment, I shall devote my every thought, my every discipline, and my every effort to creation of my Emu fleet. To that end, I shall invest myself in the living job division of Essence many-day power thinking money generating factory concept, exert persistent effort in the exercise of fully contextually honesty at all times and in every circumstance, and extirpate from my consciousness any and all tendency toward creating problems where none exist until the power dynamo of comprehensive picture thought conceptual integrating intelligence surges through my being. Moreover, I shall eliminate all negative emotion, paying special attention to the words that exit my mouth, and encourage such positive emotion known to be beneficial. I shall increase and improve my mental abilities and function by more fully integrating my right brain lateral singing symbol-oriented visual imaging pattern recognition thought processing with my left brain vertical verbal prose word-oriented logical categorizing thought processing through use of the Silver method, cognitive therapy, and discoveries made further exploring and expanding upon the work of Tracy Alexander, John C. Lilly, Julian James, Joseph Giovanelli and others. I shall achieve the rapid reading proficiency of 6,000 words per minute, or better, with perfect comprehension, develop an ever more brilliant memory, prove myself adept at mental math, assimilate all the laws of success, master the science of getting rich and the law of attraction, and become an expert scientist, scholar and writer fluent in 8 or more languages. I shall excel in the subjects of inductive logic, deductive logic, finite mathematics, business mathematics, algebra, geometry, trigonometry, synergetics, cosmography, fractal geometry, analytic geometry, calculus, the scientific method, biology, chemistry, physics, electronics, design science, engineering, and the patents, inventions, and chronophile of our Buckminster Fuller, textiles, metals, ceramics, organics, plastics, composites and nanotechnology manufacturing and fabrication, CNC, CAD and CAM, robotics, computer science, coding, and information technology, solar, differential temperature variance, Stirling heat engines, differential barometric pressure variance, wind, wave, tidal and ocean current, geothermal, and hydroelectric power generation, as well as obtaining electrical power directly from the Earth's magnetic field or the universal toroidal flow as suggested by the work of Nikola Tesla, Edward Leeds Callan, John Searle, and others, anaerobic digester methane production and biofuel power generation systems, dry fuel cells, bloom boxes, hydrogen electrolytic fuel cells, lithium-ion storage batteries, the electrical properties of carbon matrices including graphene, carbon fiber nanotubes, and the Buckminster Fuller ions, superconductivity, and electric power transmission and grid technology, horticulture, aquaculture, and husbandry, survival and austere medicine and dentistry, wild foods and medicines, herbal medicines, herbal antibiotics, herbal antivirals, colloidal silver treatments, sodium bicarbonate treatments, apple cider vinegar treatments, raw honey treatments, cannabis treatments, food treatments and other alternative medicines and healing arts, and medical science as a whole, education, the psychology and process of learning, superlearning, speed learning, altered states of consciousness, the deep self, biofeedback, magnetic resonance brain stimulation, the Mozart effect, opera, digital sound-induced brainwave frequency modulation, subvocal interface technology, and the education automation concepts of our Buckminster Fuller, world game strategy, supply chain, logistics, intermodal shipping containers and the world around intermodal shipping network, currency trading, Bitcoin, the Agora, finance and exchange, financial management, business, marketing and sales, volitional science, evolutionary psychology, anthropology, and the origin and consequence of consciousness within the human species, the works of Rothbard, Rand, Mrs. Spooner and Ward, The Art of War by Sun Tzu, The Gorin no Sho of Miyamoto Musashi, Skills of Negotiation, Principles of Justice, Trying Cases to Win, and any and all other subjects necessary to obtain my goal. Further, I shall attain and maintain perfectly healthy bodies in both of my assistants, and thus myself, inspiring them to embrace an organic and free-range grass-fed and wild food high-nutrition paleo diet, aerobic fitness strength training, which shall include yoga, tai chi, exercise, pilates, P90X, walking, hiking, cycling, swimming and training in Sistma Krav Maga, and combatives while avoiding immoderate use of caffeine, alcohol, sugar, cannabis, opiates, and medications. Not only build and employ the strength of character required to become supremely competent in all I do, but I shall create, know and revel in the intensity of happiness worthy of the character in the celebration of life with my most precious and much loved assistants, forever, and for this I am truly, deeply, and ecstatically joyful and grateful, and this is so. I know that I shall have this character, this cash money equivalent, these benefits and advantages, our garden under a dome home, the technology of Universe Temple, and the Emu fleet within my possession. My faith is so strong I can see this character, this cash money equivalent, these benefits and advantages, our garden under a dome home, technology of the Universe Temple, and Emu fleet before my very eyes. I know it in my being, touch them with my hands and experience them with all my senses. These are being transferred to me now, and at the time I deliver the value I intend to render in exchange. I await the plan, by which I shall accumulate all within the allotted time, and I shall follow that plan immediately upon receiving it, and for all this I am truly, deeply, and ecstatically joyful and grateful, and this is so.